Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and today I am back with another video here. And today I kind of wanted to break down the Provorov trade a little further and just kind of talk about Cal Petersen. It's one of the things that's interesting, and I was kind of looking at some numbers and highlights and all that stuff just to kind of familiarize myself with Petersen and just kind of the way that he plays. And I think the biggest thing, he's very flexible goaltender. Honestly, kind of reminds me of Mason a little bit. Obviously, the opposite hand, that's probably part of it. That's probably why I think that way. But it just seems like one of those things. Like again, 2 years left on his deal through 24-25, making $5 million a season. Modified no trade clause, 10-team trade list. So there's obviously a lot that's with it. And for him, it's obviously a rebound kind of thing. I really think it's going to be very similar to Tippett in the sense of, you have a guy that you can try to kind of see what his I guess rebound will be. And I think, like the biggest thing was like when the Flyers got Tippett was like, he's one of those guys that, he's good for X amount of time, or he needs to work on this and work on that kind of thing. You're probably going to hear a lot of that with Petersen as well. It just seems like the biggest thing has been the consistency with him. And honestly, like just looking at his numbers, there's a highlight reel on YouTube of just some incredible saves that he has from 2018-19. Played 11 games, a 924 save percentage and a 261 goals against average. After that, his goals against average hasn't gone down from a 289. It's been around that for pretty much the entire time. 19-20 plays 8 games. He had a 922, a 264, and then outside of that, it's kind of what I mentioned. It's been pretty much in the 2.8s. So the COVID season, the 56 game year, plays 35 games. So basically a starter. For that season. For it being 56 games, if that's a regular season, he's most likely a backup when I'm playing a full 82. But he plays 35 games, 2,016 minutes, 97 goals against, 289 goals against average, 998 saves, and for a 911 save percentage, he was 9-18-5. And the Kings were not good. They missed the playoffs. They were not the best team. They were kind of like on the bridge of like getting into the playoff kind of thing, and he was one of the main good things from their season, regardless of only winning 9 games. The following season he plays 2 more games, 37, and this is 2021-22. 2,177 minutes, so plus 161, so it's like 2 or 3 games, give or take, if he comes in for just a period, all that stuff. 105 goals against, so plus 8 on the goals against. He had 3 shutouts, a 289 goals against average. He was 20-14-2, 897 saves for an 895 save percentage. So the biggest thing is, goals against average stays the same, right? And obviously that's something that can be worked on. Better record, 2014-2. The Kings were also a better team. They made the playoffs. They lost to the Oilers in 7 games. So the biggest thing is, he plays 2 more games, 8 more goals against, but he has a better record and 3 shutouts. So right there, it's kind of give or take. It's like, if you look at it one way, you could say, worse save percentage, all of that stuff. And, I'm trying to look at the positive side with this because it's like he's a guy that you definitely think can rebound. There's a reason he had, some success before. And obviously, like this past season, he obviously completely struggled. 10 games played, 375 goals against average and an 868 save percentage. So that's the biggest thing is you have a guy here that certainly has struggled, and he went down the American League for Ontario, 40 games played, 289 as well. 282 and a 904 save percentage. Not so great in the playoffs either. They only had 2 games they lost in that best of 3, which I obviously cannot stand from the AHL. It's like one of the worst things possible. But They lose both those games. He had a 390 goals against average and 826 save percentage. So I think the biggest thing is, like, his contract is not great. Has the modified no trade, but there's a reason he got there. And I think the biggest thing is if you can get him back to that 2020, 2021, 21, 22 kind of where it's like, better record, right? Winning more games for a team, helping out that way. Obviously, Kings were better as well, so keep that in mind. And also at the same time, having such a good season a few years ago, it's not like it was like 5-6 years ago. I mean, it was only 2 years ago that he had that season. So it's certainly possible that he can do that again and rebound. I think the biggest thing is just trying to kind of fit him into that. And again, that's the type of player that the Flyers need right now, is a guy that you can work with to try to get to build them back up, essentially. And they did that with Tippett, and then that looks great. You can try to do that with Petersen. Obviously, there's going to be other, dominoes falling for the Flyers throughout the offseason. But it's certainly one of the things that I kind of wanted to take a look at, because Petersen's interesting. I mean, again, it's $5 million. It's only 2 more years. The end of his contract, he'll be 30 years old, so you can kind of work with that as well and kind of see how these 2 years go, and then just go from there. So we'll see. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Remember to check out all the social media. Check out all the links I also added on the channel. There's a bunch of new stuff over from Maher Media Co., which is like the extension, like the website of all of my content here on YouTube. That'll be dropping in September, so cannot wait for that. Been working on that all summer so far. And remember to check out the Chris Maher show as well. All that stuff from this past Tuesday, again, every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. here on YouTube. And thanks everybody so much for all the support. Let me know your guys' thoughts below on Petersen, and maybe if you think he can rebuild, and tell me maybe why you don't think he can rebuild. We'll see. Again, thanks everybody so much for all the support, and I'll talk to you all again soon.